Okay? Let's just do this and get it over with then. How's that sound? Right?
Sounds pretty good.
Okay. All right, chap, what you need, bud? So I'm gonna scoot that part up. What we are doing today is, let me get my book. Wow, we are really at the end. All right, so chapter 9 is about quadratic functions. See the name of it, yes. Lesson 1 is called graphing quadratic functions. I am not going to be graphing today. You'll look at some graphs today and tomorrow. Wednesday will be the day when we do a lot of graphing. Okay, I'm gonna spread this out. I really need you to master today and tomorrow before we can do Wednesday. Wednesday is a really important day. Okay, really, really, it's a big one. So today I'm gonna give you some terminology. All right, so the first one is, I think I'm gonna get lots of colors because I feel I just like to. All right, the first one is quadratic. Do y'all remember what that is? Think exponent. What is the exponent of a quadratic? It's a 2. Square. All right, so first one, we'll do quadratic function. I'm going to separate that. First of all, it is not linear. Linear means what? What word do you see in linear? Line. It's not a line. Okay, so we're changing our visual. Okay. Written, yeah, Avery, you may want to move over. Written as. You remember what f of x means? That means it is a, starts with an F, function. Okay, it's been a while, but you remember the vertical line test? Okay, so if we have f of x, which also is y, but I'll come back to that, ax squared plus bx plus c. All right, now that a, b, and c should look familiar. Okay, quick review. I'll give you a second to write that down. How many terms does this have? 1, 2, 3. What is that called? Trinomial. What is the degree? 2. That right there is what I want to focus on real quick. The 2, okay, tells you what the graph looks like. This graph is a quadratic, okay? It has a certain shape. I'm drawing it right now. Can you see it? You got it? Okay, we'll come back to that. This here is standard form. Where the, let's see, how do I want to, standard form where the exponents are in descending. I almost misspelled that. What is descending? Going down, thank you. Standard form, I decided not to go over that last chapter. I will give you an equation and I will say, is this in standard form? And you're going to say yes or no, okay? It's basic, but you're going to see equations like this throughout your whole high school math career and in college, okay? This is where it starts. Okay, quadratics are the most popular kind of, you think lines, okay, quadratic is equally as, I don't say popular, but you see them a lot. All right, so now, quadratic function, where'd my graph paper go? There it is. So if I graphed a quadratic, it will, I'm just going to draw, can I do something real quick? I'll move this. Here's my graph. I will give you graph paper when you need it. Right now, I need you visually to watch me, okay? Quick review because it's been a while. There we go. What is this called? 2 words. Coordinate plane. Okay, so what axis is this? X or Y? X, therefore this is Y. Good. Okay, the IXL some of you just did. If a line is horizontal, right, this is horizontal, this is what? Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. So if that green, just pretend that's a line, right? I'm really going back. Is this a positive slope or negative slope?
Positive.
Positive. How do you know? Right. So what is that?
Negative.
Negative. This is not what we're going to be doing, but in 4 weeks, we'll be reviewing, okay, for your final exam. It's coming. I'm going to do the best I can to review, okay? Is everybody good so far? What kind of line is that? Horizontal. Therefore, that is vertical. Everybody good so far? Now, I am just going to do a generic. I'm going to use, bless you, I'm going to use pink, okay, to contrast with my purple because it's just pretty. And that's just how I'm feeling. Okay. All right. This is what is called a parabola. Weird word, parabola, 4-syllable word. Okay, everybody say parabola. Okay. If you graph a quadratic function where the degree is what? 2. It's right there. It's going to look like this. Okay. Now, can it be upside down? Yes, we'll get there. But right now, we're just focusing on the basic. Usually, it looks like a U. Okay. When I say upside down, I mean like that. Okay. No, it's not hard. Normally, it looks like this. Okay. So this is called a parabola. All right. We good? In a second, you can draw this on your paper. All right. But I'm going to write down the next definition will be parabola. And it is simply the graph of a quadratic function. Okay. If you want to sketch this right under it, I would do that now. Would anyone like a piece of graph paper, or you just want to sketch? I'm okay with either right now. We're getting ready to do some labeling. Okay? If you want some, raise your hand and I'll bring it to you. Okay? Bless you. As you're writing this down, I want you to think of what the word symmetric means. Okay? Somebody in your own words tell me if something is symmetric, what does that mean?
Same.
Same on both sides.
Same on both sides. So I don't know how you were taught it, but the way I think is if you folded something in half, like on a piece of paper, it's the same, right? So there's a line of symmetry, right? Depends on how you fold it. Okay. Parabolas are symmetric. Okay? Here is a very important point. I'll come to that in a second. Did you notice how the 2 points up here are equal distance? You see how I don't have 1 point here and 1 point all the way over here. You see it? I can fold this parabola in half this way, and it would be exactly the same. Okay? That is very helpful, and you will really use that when you graph. Okay? All right, I'm going to label this. Okay? Okay, so this is a parabola. Can you see this? Okay. All right, so the first thing I want to do is a really important line. It is called, well, I'm going to draw it first. This is called the axis of symmetry. Okay, I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to write that down. Axis of symmetry is the central line of I'll put it right here. So basically, if I folded this graph this way on that dotted line, that's my line of symmetry, okay? Probably the most important thing you're going to learn today, okay? Very important, and it's really helpful. You'll see, all right? I think I'm feeling orange. Okay, one more thing on the graph for now. There's a really important point right here. You may know this. Starts with a V. Anything? Somebody say it again. Who said it? Yes. Have y'all heard that before? Yeah, you should. All right, so this point here, I'm gonna scoot this up. This is called the vertex. And this is not bright enough. V-E-R-T-E-X. All right, so there's your vertex. All right, I'll let you put that, and then I will just give you, it's also a part of what? The vertex is on what? The axis of symmetry, okay? All right, this is where things start to overlap. Y'all, when I say overlap, what I mean by that is the axis of symmetry includes part of the vertex. The vertex is a point, okay? Do you see it's just a point, X, Y. Okay? I'll even put this, x, y. The most important point on the entire thing, okay? All right, I'll bring this back. Let me write down vertex. V-E-R-T-E-X. The point x, y of the axis of symmetry and I'm also going to write this, is either a max or minimum. And I simply say max or min. More overlap. So we have quadratic function, standard form, parabola, axis of symmetry, and vertex. There's one more thing. Okay. All right, so let me put this graph up. Common sense. This vertex, is this a max or is this a min? Min. Okay. Think of it this way. Maximum is like your most, right? Your highest. Minimum is the opposite, it's your lowest. Does that make sense? Just normal common sense way of thinking. This is at the bottom. You see it? The bottom of the graph, so it's a minimum. If I flipped it, okay, it's not a min, but it has a max. Okay? We good so far? Whoops, sorry. I think there's one more thing I need to do. All right. Let's see. I think I can fit it. Something that we do know, and you're going to love this so much. What did I just write? Y-intercept. What does that mean? Not a trick question. What is the y-intercept? Well, it's a point where it touches the y-axis. Okay? I've not really given you one here. Okay? I'll draw you another one. But I want you to remember all of the graphing stuff, guys. It's going to come back. All of it. Okay? So just a quick review. Point where it touches the y-axis. And I will give you another one. Are you ready? Here's another graph. Nope. There it is, right there. Okay. Same shape. Does this have a max or min? Min. Remember, it's the bottom. Okay, here's the vertex. It's at the bottom. All right. The y-intercept is at what point? Here's my y-axis. What's the y-intercept? 1. Okay. So y-intercept is equal to 1. have two more things to give you, and then we'll do some practice, okay? Can I move this? I'll bring this back, all right? Y-intercept, I'm not done. For your f of x being ax squared plus bx plus c, the y-intercept is equal to c. So it's a given shortcut, if you will. Is that better? Maybe. All right, so there's one, I have one more thing from the axis of symmetry. It's a formula. Okay, it's a good one. Okay, memorization, you're going to have to remember this. This is going to be your friend. Okay, because at the end of chapter 9, you're going to memorize the formula. That is enormous. Okay, I'm just being honest. The quadratic formula, it's a doozy. Okay, I know, Katie. I know, I feel your pain. Going back to axis of symmetry, this is equal to negative b over 2a. I'm going to box this. I'm going to let you write that down, and then I'm going to give you an example on what I'm expecting of you. Notice the axis of symmetry, the formula is equal to what variable? What did I put it equal to? X. Okay, this is the X part of your vertex. Okay, guys, lots of overlapping. Okay, what time do we got here? 9:10. Okay. Can I move this? This is, I'm just giving you an idea on how loaded this section is. This is half of the first page on section 9.1. Okay, so there's a lot here. Can I move this? All right. Whew, those kids that are out today are all right, here's an example. Let's just y equals 3x squared plus 6x minus 4. Okay, first of all, is that in standard form, yes or no? I'm going to say yes, it is. Okay, I'm just telling you. Okay, do you see how it's in descending order? Okay, you want to look and see if this squares first. Okay, all right, so this is a trinomial because how many terms does it have? Okay, A is 3. What is B? 6. C is -4. So I'm going to go ahead and write that up here because that's just helpful. We did that last chapter. You remember? Okay, where can we make a mistake here? The negative. Don't forget the negative. Okay. So here are some questions I can ask you. Axis of symmetry. The formula is x equals negative b over 2a. All right, it's saying the opposite of b. Do you see that? So what is b now? 6, so it's going to be -6 over 2 times a, which is, what is a? 3. So you're going to simplify that. 2 times 3 is what? 6. Simplify, -6 over 6 is simply what? -1. All right. Now, on your IXL, you're going to say x equals -1. All right, something I need you to also understand. Okay. This is also part of your vertex. Remember, the vertex is your point, right? It's the central point. Here's your x and here's your y. So what is my x? -1. Okay, again, overlap. Overlap. Let's see, scoot it down. What's your y-intercept? Look at the graph. Remember the definition of y-intercept. Y-intercept in the equation is what letter? C. So the y-intercept is -4. So that's another question. Y-intercept equals -4. No work needed. Okay, I'm going to star this, and then I'm going to let you go. For max min, when A is positive, you have a min. When A is negative, what do you think you have? Max. Okay. Let me scoot that up. And what I'm going to do now is I want everyone to write that down. And then you can go ahead and pack up. I'm going to get my IXL on the screen because I want you to watch and see what you're expected for homework.